The Switch 2's Mario Kart World sounds cool and all, but can you flip off a ramp as Pikachu while racing through the Matrix? Most likely not. Can you race through Andy's room and visit Buzz and Woody? Doubtful. Can you have it your way 7 times around a Burger King parking lot? No. Can you see the glorious sights of Shrek's swamp? Unlikely. Is that a giant freaking Mimikyu? I'm ShonenJonah, and this is Insane Kart Wii. Congrats to everyone that could afford to get a Nintendo Switch 2 at launch. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But you know what I do already have? Mario Kart Wii! Yeah, just put the meme here, damn it. Insane Kart Wii is a Mario Kart Wii modification created by Toadette Hack Fan with the help of Numerosity and PaperToadette. Have I mentioned you can play as characters like Pikachu from Pokemon or Geno from Super Mario RPG? The Mario Kart modding community is incredible. And as I'm just dipping my toes in the massive economy, I wanted to share with all of you some of the very best gems I've found so far. Because with almost 5,000 tracks in one game, you're sure to find some masterpieces, in the midst of a lot of filler. I searched throughout the almost 5,000 tracks for familiar names, phrases, or non-Mario Kart racing titles, like LEGO Racers, Crash Tag Team Racing, Pac-Man World Rally, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Gran Turismo, Diddy Kong Racing, SpongeBob SquarePants Lights, Camera Pants, and more? Some quick notes before we get started. This video is not going to explain how to play the mod yourself. A little bit of online research should set you on the path you're looking for. Also, the footage captured was in the easiest mode for the game, 50cc, because I wanted to really take my time showing off the small, intricate details in each of these courses. Much of the information and research for these courses was done thanks to custom Mario Kart wiki at wiki.talkdom.com. So what did qualify a course for my personal top 50? Courses that are easy to access in other Mario Kart games were not included. I wanted to focus mainly on courses that were inaccessible with the usual console experience. Courses from completely other racing games, as well as tracks that felt like they could be in an official racing game, or just ones that straight up made me happy. Apologies ahead of time if I mess up the pronunciations of any of the racetrack creators' screen names. That being said, let's get started. Welcome to ShonenJonah's Top 50 Insane Kart Courses. 50. CTR Mystery Caves, created by Bejarano56. The first of multiple Crash Bandicoot racetracks you'll be seeing showcased in this video. I've always been a fan of Crash Bandicoot's foray in the racing genre, but tended to prefer the controls of Mario Kart's titles. So now we have the best of both worlds. Based on a track from PlayStation's Crash Team Racing, this track feels very true to its source. A thrilling lava-filled course with just the right amount of ramps and boost pads. The most noticeable difference from the original is the fact that you are no longer bouncing off of wooden crates, but instead large glowing Koopas. 49. Hill Valley Way, created by AlexTG4517 and Yosh46. An original track based on one of my favorite films from the 80s, Back to the Future. A simple yet functional course taking place in the film's fictional town of Hill Valley, California. The course starts you off with the Back to the Future logo, and behind it, yes, that is the Hill Valley Courthouse and Clock Tower that gets struck by lightning at exactly 10:04 p.m. on November 12th, 1955. Do the item boxes contain plutonium? 48. Green Hills, created by Cats for Life. Green Hills is a wonderful attempt at an original Sonic the Hedgehog theme track, nailing the iconic look of Green Hill Zone. The item boxes have been replaced with rings. Sonic is cheering on the racers as they pass by. Scattered around the course are wisps from Sonic Colors. A simple, nostalgic, and effective track. 47. Back to the 80s, created by Wee Luigi. Perfectly matching the art style that you'd see associated with synth pop in the 80s. The neon lights and colors in this track adds something so visually striking to the typical Mario Kart experience. 46. Nature Creek Pass, created by IGMB. Going for a bit more realism with this one. Nature Creek Pass reminds me of tracks I'd enjoy playing in either the Cruisin' or Burnout series. This course focuses a lot on tight turns, so drifting is definitely your friend here. 45. CTR Sewer Speedway, created by Lucio Wins. Ported from Crash Team Racing, even replacing the generic item boxes with the iconic Crash Bandicoot crates. This was always one of my favorite courses in the original Crash Team Racing on the PS1. Giving you multiple routes to take, and the water that propels you forward throughout the sewer. This is a prime example of a track that feels like it was ripped from a completely different kart racing game entirely. But now you get to use the Mario Kart Wii racing engine with it? Just blows my mind. 44. Color Circuit, created by Oaken and Reno Rocks. I love really unique looking Mario Kart tracks, and Color Circuit scratches that itch for me. A visually stimulating original course with bold outlines that make the whole experience feel like you've been transported to a more cel-shaded toon-like world. 43. CNR Outer Space Chase, created by Atlas. Speaking of toon-like worlds, we have Outer Space Chase ripped right from Cartoon Network Racing for the Nintendo DS. Cartoon Network Racing was a crossover racing game released in 2006, featuring characters from the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Courage the Cowardly Dog, I Am Weasel, and more. Outer Space Chase is a ridiculous course that has you racing on the rings of a planet. These rings not only don't have edges, but they also feature arrows you need to watch out for that will push you to the left or right of the track, potentially having you plummeting to your doom. This course is filled with plenty of obstacles like burning asteroids falling from the sky that will keep you on your toes. 42. CTR Polar Pass, created by Kane the Snowman. That's right, another course taken right from Crash Team Racing. Polar Pass is a faithful port of the classic PlayStation track that features beautiful snowy graphics, exciting jumps, and plenty of flexible route options in however which way you want to aim for the finish line. 41. Beanstalk Castle, created by Love, Life, and T-Pose 024. Beanstalk Castle is an original track that takes place in the air above a huge lake, where racers drive around giant vines on a cloud and through a castle courtyard situated on a floating island. I really appreciate the striking graphics in this one, the color design specifically. This track genuinely feels so official and professionally done, I can't help but be impressed. 40. SM64, Big Boo's Haunt, created by Waltz. Super Mario 64, anyone? Speed around Boo's mansion as quickly as you can, but watch out for the Boos with their character models being perfectly ripped from the Nintendo 64 title. Those ghosts are gonna get ya if you're not fast enough. Short, simple, and nostalgic. You can't go wrong here. 39. Safari Zone, created by Mistora. Themed after Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, race through the Safari Zone's nostalgic sprite-themed design, with plenty of clever opportunities for shortcuts. This course is a must-try for me. Be sure to look out for a sneaky legendary Pokemon Rayquaza as you inch closer to the finish line. 38. SCR Tutorial Track, created by Waltz. Was anyone else addicted to Slot Car Rivals, which was featured in the Street Pass Me clause on the Nintendo 3DS? No? Just me? Well, you can race on the tutorial track featured in that game in a way like you never have before. Mario Kart style. The little details that capture the nostalgia from Slot Car Rivals in this course, while also being legitimately really fun, make this an awesome 5-lap track, whether you've played the 3DS title or not. 37.
In a row?
CTR Engine Lab, created by Mr. E99. Giant radioactive barrels, acid pits, and a turbo tunnel? What's not to love in another Crash Team Racing track, Engine Lab? The turns are tight, so remember to drift, drift, drift. 36. KAR Top Ride Grass, created by Waltz. We're finally moving on to tracks from one of my favorite racing games from the Nintendo GameCube era, Kirby Air Ride. This track is a special one though, as this course was normally played in the top ride mode, using the top-down camera perspective. But Insane Kart has made this course playable in the good old traditional kart racing fashion. Not only that, however, but this version of the track also added Waddle Dees as obstacles. Easily the best version of this course. 35. SK64 Ninja Land, created by Snicky. I only had a couple of opportunities to rent Snowboard Kids on the Nintendo 64 back at my old video store, so I'm not incredibly nostalgic for the game, but man, this track looks awesome in Insane Kart. I love the cherry blossom trees and the heavy sprite aesthetic this course uses. You are consistently going on a downward path for the duration of the race, and when you finish a lap, you get launched back to the top of the mountain to start again. I just can't get over the gorgeous sprite work. 34. Spyro 1 Toasty, created by Waltz. Based on the iconic Toasty's realm from the first Spyro the Dragon game, this track perfectly encapsulates the energy and joy you get from charging headfirst as that small purple dragon. The S in the logo being in the item boxes was also a very nice touch. 33. Mech Factory, created by TL and Coffee Toffee. This course is a massive sci-fi industrial factory. The amount of details and hard work that went into making such an impressive and outstanding track design is honestly just remarkable. 32. DX Bowser's Castle, created by Numerosity. As someone that never had the opportunity to play Mario Kart Arcade GP DX, I cannot tell you how happy I am to see the arcade courses are in this mod. Right from the start, when you see the menacing Bowser lurking over the beginning of the course, you know we're in for a treat. The aesthetics inside the castle, the menacing red skies outside, and what's inside Kamek's laboratory. Maybe one day we'll get an official at-home version of some of these hard-to-access Mario Kart tracks, but until then, this is pretty sweet. 31. Subspace Factory, created by Karan. Super Smash Bros. Brawl had hands down the best story mode in the entire franchise. So when I saw that there was a track based on Subspace Emissary that featured characters, elements, and references to said story mode, I was ecstatic. This original track is really clever with how it uses its assets as obstacles for you to avoid. Watch out for a rogue Rob. 30. Snake Way, created by a noob. It's time to go Super Saiyan on the course. Collect the Dragon Ball so you can win. We're racing in the afterlife on Snake Way. This is a fast-paced course that you don't want to fall off of, or else you might end up in
Home for infinite losers.
Oh, hi Goku. Is that King Kai's planet? Man, I love Mario Kart modders. 29. Big Urban Extensity, created by IGMB, and Big Express City, created by IGMB. Holy crap, how are either of these courses even possible? These are two massive one-lap racetracks that focus mostly on Japanese cities. This feels like what Nintendo is attempting now in Mario Kart World on the Switch 2, at a smaller scale to an extent, giving you an insane amount of space to race on with a variety of open routes. The hard work and attention to detail, I can't imagine the amount of effort that was made to pull these courses off. The potential here is ridiculous. 28. CTR Papu's Pyramid, created by Zapula. We have one more awesome track specifically from Crash Team Racing represented in this Insane Kart showcase, Papu's Pyramid. I love the little details here, going so far as to replace piranha plant models with man-eating plants. One of my favorite courses from the Crash Bandicoot racing games, and one I enjoy frequenting quite a bit. 27. GP Diamond City, created by Atlas. That's right, we've got multiple courses from Mario Kart Arcade GP represented in this showcase. And we're starting off very strong with Diamond City. I love the WarioWare franchise. It gets barely any representation in the core Mario Kart series, but it is on full display in this course. Diamond City is where all of the zany antics from the WarioWare series take place, and the energy from that series is certainly felt here. 26. AU The Skeld, created by Dom Dom. Look, I know the game has been memed to all hell at this point, but I can't help myself here. I have very fond memories of playing Among Us with a group of friends and family every weekend at the height of COVID. I loved watching other people's strategies on YouTube to bring them into my own, especially the compilation videos from Team 4-Star.
But apparently I can't report bodies anymore, so...
What? That was
Who did that? This is amazing and I love it.
I'm telling you right now, Quinn, Tyler, Grant, me, Scott. Okay?
Fuck.
Kieran's body.
I hate that this is gonna end in a skip voting because he killed him right in front of us. Amazing, and I love this new strat.
I can't believe that fucking worked. That's amazing. I'm so happy.
I was really good at the game and creating alibis for myself. So I have this specific map memorized, and if you're going to turn it into a faithful to the source racetrack, I'm going to love it. 25. KAR Sky Sands, created by King of Mo. Yes, finally some actual Kirby air ride tracks. Sky Sands in Insane Kart is identical to the original course on the GameCube, and that alone gets it a lot of points in my book. This track is pretty large to the point where you only have 2 laps to go through the whole thing, but there's something about the course design from Air Ride that holds up so well. I'm really looking forward to showing you some of my more favorite tracks from Kirby Air Ride as this showcase continues. 24. Aspertia City, created by Waltz. There's a track based off of the hometown in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 in this game. Aspertia City, known as the city that reaches for the sky. Dude, why isn't there a Poké-Kart? No, Pokemon Dash doesn't freaking count. This is awesome. You can see plenty of Pokemon as you race through the course, like Deerling, Psyduck, Snivy, Vaporeon, Oshawott, and Tepig. I'm just saying, even Digimon got a kart racer over 20 years ago. There's so much untapped potential here. 23. CNK Jungle Boogie, created by Lucio Wins. That's right, we have just one more Crash Bandicoot course, and it's from Crash Nitro Kart this time. The graphical style here is undeniable. If you had shown me this footage initially, I would have immediately assumed you were playing one of the Crash racing titles, but nope, this is Insane Kart, and we're racing in the trees. Break every crate and drift around each tight turn of my favorite Crash Bandicoot track represented in this game. It's time to boogie. 22. Hot Shelter, created by Igor C. Bra 4. Based on the level of the same name from Sonic Adventure, located inside a carrier, Hot Shelter makes for an incredible, lengthy, and layered one-lap course. I am absolute butt at 3D Sonic platform games, but you let me explore an area in a kart racing game? Suddenly, it makes more sense to me. I've always loved the aesthetic of Sonic games, and I'm stoked that I get to experience that aesthetic in a completely different way. 21. GP Bananan Ruins, created by Dylan Mario, and GP DK Jungle, created by Pointy Pighead Games. I joined these 2 tracks in one course slot because they both represent the DK Cup in Mario Kart Arcade GP. DK Jungle is a simple but graphically detailed course, but the real meat here is in Bananan Ruins. This track is gorgeous. Look at the golden statue of Donkey and Diddy, the waterfalls at each side of the bridge, even the droplets in the trees. To be able to play courses like this at home is such a gift. 20. Game Boy Hills, created by Milan DK. Feeling retro? This unique course uses textures and sprites from the Super Mario Land series to make an old-school graphical style feel fresh and pleasing to the eye. You don't need a worm light to see how much fun you'll have on this track. 19. GP Snow Panic, created by Dylan Mario. Continuing the theme from earlier, we're back in Diamond City with more Mario Kart Arcade GP. It's snowing. Was that Professor Egad? What does Wario even need with that crane? Who cares? This track looks incredible. 18. Planet Popstar, created by Cats for Life. Wait, this isn't from Kirby Air Ride? That's right, we have some original Kirby-themed racetracks in this showcase. Grab a Warp Star, avoid the Waddle Dees, and get ready to check out King Dedede's castle on Planet Popstar. 17. SBSP BFBB Downtown Bikini Bottom, created by Waltz. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Well, apparently Mario and friends do now. Grab yourself a delicious Krabby Patty and race toward the finish line in a track that uses 3D models from the GameCube version of Battle for Bikini Bottom to make a fully functional course. The graphics here really impressed me with how it faithfully matches the style of the animated series. Just don't get stung by any jellyfish. 16. SH Grand Metropolis, created by Igor C. Brothor. Using assets from the game Sonic Heroes, the graphical presentation of this track is incredible. The flying vehicles, the varied cityscope, and exciting downhill segments. Even if you don't care at all about Sonic the Hedgehog, you gotta admit, this course has a lot of style. 15. Poke Floats, created by Carry On. Do you guys remember the Poke Float stage in Super Smash Bros. Melee? You know, one of the only handful of awesome stages we didn't get remastered in Smash Ultimate? Well, there's a version of that here from modder Carry On. I'll admit, it does look a bit rough. We can see a wheezing Psyduck. Is that supposed to be Onyx? I do like that you get to drive on Squirtle's belly to get to another section of the course. That is pretty cool, but this track feels like it could use some polish. Hold on. Poke Floats by GeForce. That's more like it. Remade by modder GeForce, this course is incredible. Psyduck, Chansey, Snorlax, Squirtle's still here, Chikorita, Porygon, Unknown spelling out go with an exclamation mark. Onyx, they fixed you! And Pokemon Rumble models of Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Pikachu to welcome you to the finish line? Absolutely sold. 14. Kirby's Dream Land, created by Derek. Another original Kirby-themed track? Hell yeah, dude. It's Wispy Woods. I guess we're in Kirby Kart now. Let's go, Meta Knight. Watch out for the Waddle Doo. You can either take the high ground on the left, where you will get launched by the Warp Star at the top. Just make sure you don't fall, or go right and stay low while you explore the bridge. But watch out for that fatty puffer. The versatility of this track just keeps me coming back. 13. Toad Town, created by a noob. Taking place in one of my favorite RPGs, Paper Mario, Toad Town is very true to its source material. Have we ever had any direct Paper Mario representation in a Mario Kart game? Let's change that, Nintendo. Everyone's asking for a story mode in Mario Kart World. What if Nintendo introduced a story mode while also introducing characters representing each of Mario's RPGs? Geno from Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario, and maybe even Fawful from Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story. If that were to happen, I'd drop everything and figure out a way to get my hands on a Switch 2 ASAP. Anyway, I love this course and how a lap ends by launching you out of a warp pipe back to the entrance of the town. Seriously, Nintendo, the Super Mario RPG and Thousand Year Door remakes on the Switch were incredible. And we still don't have Paper Mario or Geno as official racers in Mario Kart? 12. GP Mario Beach, created by Super Mario 64 DS and DJ Logi, and GP Mario Highway, created by Diego Vapi. Moving on to our tie for 12th place, GP Mario Beach and GP Mario Highway, both from the Mario Cup and Mario Arcade GP. Likely the first courses you would play in the game if you had the opportunity. The colors absolutely burst in both of these courses. Mario Beach comprises of 5 quick, simple, but tight laps with a gorgeous backdrop. Is that Daisy Cruiser from Double Dash? Oh, hell yeah, dude. And Mario Highway, while being a bit slower paced, even features the original model of the blimp being ported right from Mario Kart Arcade GP. 11. Chargestone Caves, created by Cats for Life and Stanza. I love this so much. Based on the Chargestone Cave in Pokemon Black and White, race through these neon-lit caves, avoiding the Pokemon Boldore, doing tricks off of the magnetic rocks. Don't forget to say hi to all of the Magnemite, Magnezone, and Nosepass. And once you get to what you think is the end of the course, think again. Turn that cart or bike right back around and head back where you started. The first lap's not over until you cross that logo again. Now, on to the top 10. 10. Dreamland Drive, created by Squadaloo. Themed after Cookie Country, the first level from Kirby's Return to Dreamland on the Wii. This incredible original track starts you off zooming past the windmill trees, where you'll then get to explore a cave, before you end up in a forest land where you eventually run into Wispy Woods, who, no surprise, is trying to stop your cart with rolling apples. This gorgeous course is easily my favorite original Kirby-themed course in this game so far. 9. GP Pac Mountain, created by Redefy. If you ever had the opportunity to play Mario Kart Arcade GP, you likely noticed a character or two that isn't in any home version of Mario Kart to date. Pac-Man. Well, he had his very own tracks in Mario Kart Arcade GP, one of them being Pac Mountain, and it is wonderful. This is a fast-paced course with beautifully designed scenery. Look at the lighting in this cave, and once you leave there, giant letters on a mountain read Pac-Land. The 8-bit ghosts on the walls are perfect. Please, Nintendo, one day you've got to include arcade tracks in a retro course section in a future Mario Kart title. These are so good. 8. KAR Celestial Valley, created by I Swear Chris. No way, Celestial Valley from Kirby Air Ride is here? This is one of my most frequented courses in the original game. Please tell me it has. Yes, it even has the water ride segment. Oh, this is cool, dude. This track is beautiful, featuring a plethora of Kirby enemies as obstacles. Make your way across bridges, explore caves, get boosted up a waterfall, speed through the river, and do it all again. Yeah, this course still holds up, but there might just be one more air ride track I'm a little more nostalgic for. 7. Pianta Parlor, created by Sammy Classic Star Fox Fan. I did mention earlier I love Paper Mario, right? Good, remember that. Pianta Parlor is a recreation of the casino from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, an original track that ticks all of the right boxes for me. This faithfully designed course might seem simple at first, but damn is it exciting. You'll make your way around the curve of the track, to then ride to the top and trick jump to the other side. That's honestly it, but the presentation and the performance of the track are what does it for me. 5 laps feels perfect. Even just seeing the Thousand Year Door NPCs in the crowd makes me happy. 6. GP Bowser's Castle, created by The Gaming Bram, and GP Castle Wall, created by The Gaming Bram. Both courses from the Bowser Cup and Mario Kart Arcade GP are here. This is a Bowser Castle you're going to want to see for yourself. Not only is there a section for Bowser himself featuring a throne that looks directly out at a giant golden statue of the Koopa King, but Bowser Jr. also has his own section of the castle. Castle Wall has you return to the castle, its aesthetic remaining unchanged, but the route instead leads you outside where you will have to avoid Goombas to make your way to the finish line. 5. MP Slot Car Derby, created by Talescraft. Mario Party has a lot of potential for track modification in Insane Kart. I really enjoyed a track by Dylan Mario that replicated the Mario Party DS minigame, Pedal Pushers. But that's not the iconic minigame I'm having represent the first slot of our top 5. No. That privilege goes to Slot Car Derby. Slot Car Derby is a minigame that was featured not only in the original Mario Party and Mario Party 2 on the Nintendo 64, Mario Party The Top 100 on the Nintendo 3DS, but also Mario Party Superstars on the Nintendo Switch. You are no longer restricted to just stay in your lane on this course. No. This version of Slot Car Derby is a vast improvement. allowing you to race Mario Kart style instead of the top-down perspective, doing trick jumps from lane to lane on the racetrack. I'd like my 10 coins now, please. 4. KAR Fantasy Meadows, created by Waltz. The most nostalgic track, in my opinion, from Kirby Air Ride. The giant windmills, beautiful cave, and plenty of Waddle Dees to get in your way. This is my favorite track in Insane Kart that is from an original kart racing game other than Mario Kart. The item boxes were even replaced with Invincible candy. They just captured the look and energy of Kirby Air Ride so perfectly here. I still just can't believe something like this is even possible. 3. Paper Space, created by Drybones BXBE and Samantha MK. Based on the moon and X-Not Fortress from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, seeing Bowser's floating castle and the X-Not paper models in the beginning of the track had me grinning from ear to ear. Maybe it has to do with the Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remaster being so fresh in my mind, maybe. But I'm always hopeful for the Mario RPG titles to be acknowledged more in casual or mainstream titles like Mario Kart. Being launched to the moon is such a memorable story beat in Thousand Year Door that it makes perfect sense to set a track based on that moment. Watch out for the clefts and dance with toads as you trick jump off a freaking rainbow. 2. GP Rainbow Coaster, created by Diego Vapi, and GP Rainbow Downhill, created by Diego Vapi. If you were to attempt any courses from Mario Kart Arcade GP, make them one of the tracks from the Rainbow Cup. GP Rainbow Coaster and GP Rainbow Downhill are both ports of my favorite tracks from Mario Kart Arcade GP. I even have footage of my in-person reaction seeing the course transition in the original game when I got to play it for the first time in 2019. What? And yes, that course transition is still here in Insane Kart. I love that I have a way of playing a version of these tracks in the comfort of my home. I have a lot of fond memories of playing Mario Kart Arcade GP when my brother and friends visited from out of state. The music remains the same, the item boxes look perfect, and the visuals are some of the best any Mario Kart track that started with the word rainbow has ever seen. Number 1. Dragonite's Island, created by SuchT93A and Redefy. If you know anything about me and my channel, this shouldn't be a surprise to you. Yes, a Pokemon-themed track is my number 1. Dragonite's Island is set on a small island full of Pokemon, all guarded by a mighty Dragonite. Snorlax is binge-eating berries, there are Pokeball item blocks, Eevee is rolling around trying to trip up other racers. Say hi to Dragonite as you cross the wooden bridge, which then leads you to my favorite area of the course, the Dark Forest, where a Gengar is firing off projectile shadow balls. And then it's downhill into the ocean where a menacing Gyarados is waiting for unsuspecting drivers. When you finally end back up on the beach where Squirtles will attempt to target you before you make it past the finish line. Man, more than any other track, Dragonite's Island makes me wish Poke Kart was real. But thankfully, with Insane Kart, we can at least come close. And there we have it. Maybe one day I'll be able to splurge on a Switch 2 in Mario Kart World. Believe me, if I could, I would right now. But until then, I'll be going insane. Thank you everyone for watching. This was the most research and time I put into a video in years. Teaching myself a lot about video capture footage and editing multiple massive recording files. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a comment and tell me what your favorite Insane Kart course is, seen here or otherwise. Hitting that like button, subscribing for whatever's coming next, click that bell to see any future notifications, and share this video with any of your fellow kart racing enthusiasts. Well, I'm off to go play the Smash 64 mod Smash Remix. Did you hear that they just added Crash Bandicoot? This is Shonen Jonah wishing you all great success on the racetrack.